If you slice my wrist now, blood will come out. If you slice Real Madrid wrist, you see W's. Wins. Wins. Real Madrid's blood type is W+.
Everyone is happy about Kylian Mbappe'S move to Real Madrid. But of course, there's a particular set of people that are terrified and petrified of what is coming to their way. Who are they? You can guess. Of course, they're Barcelona fans. I am Anishulo, Jimmy Anishulo. This is Crossfire, and I'm here with Tunde and Tosin to discuss the impact that Mbappe'S arrival at Madrid is going to have on the La Liga and Barcelona in particular. So, Tunde, I'm very sure that you have a lot to say about this. Let's hear from you.
I don't know what's the impact we're looking for. We're talking about the best player in the world right now, in my opinion. Forget about who currently owns the Ballon d'Or. We all know that was an honorary thanks for coming parting gift away from Europe.
Don't let Messi fans
the current or 002 as our lovely presenter so aptly put it. But in terms of the best player in the world this season, everybody knows it's Kylian Mbappe. This is a player that at 19 already dominated the World Cup final. Did it again 4 years later, but unfortunately was on the losing side. So joining a team that a Real Madrid team that lost 2 games the entire season, both to the same team, to Atletico Madrid. I don't see a world in which any sort of competition is going to happen in Spain next year. You see how one-sided this season was. This season was extremely one-sided in favor of Real Madrid, and they did not have Mbappe. In fact, Real Madrid, the only striker at the club was Oselu. If Real Madrid can dominate like this with Oselu, Real Madrid came into the season, lost Thibaut Courtois before a ball was kicked to an ACL injury, lost Eder Militao before a ball was kicked to an ACL injury, lost David Alaba at the start of the season to also an ACL injury. 3 starters left out of the starting 11 due to injury. Lost Karim Benzema to the riches of Saudi Arabia. Did not sign any defenders to replace the injured defenders. Only brought in Kepa to replace Courtois, which everybody knows is not a replacement. It's just let it not be as if we don't have Kepa on the bench. That was what that was about. So, and then brought in Oselu to replace Karim Benzema. On average, that is supposed to be a prelude to a horrible season. But because Real Madrid is a team with winning DNA, if you slice my wrist now, blood will come out. If you slice Real Madrid wrist, you see W's. Wins. Wins. Real Madrid's blood type is W+. Winning. That's what they do there. It doesn't matter who they use. Whether it's Oselu, whether it's Carvajal, whether it's Lucas Vazquez, Tchouaméni will play centre back. Ancelotti might play and they will still win. That is how the club is built. So when you look at the club that is rugged, they are not confined to one specific style of play. There's no desire to move the ball 700 million times before you finally score 1 goal. It is, can you get the business done? Go and play. That kind of club, you now add the best player in the world to it. My brother in Christ, I'm about to tell you that this is going to be worse than the Bale, Benzema, Ronaldo years. I'm about to tell you that as a Barcelona fan, pick up new hobbies. The WNBA is hot right now. You might like it, Nicolas. Pick that up. Watch some basketball. Watch squash. Watch badminton. Tunde Onakoya is doing great with chess. Watch that. You are in the slum anyway, so chess is slums. But if football is if this football that you decide that you still want to watch, you are going to suffer. And I'm talking to friends or you to say and then the rest of you Barcelona fans that want to have hopes of watching football for at least the next 5 years. Because if you think that this is just a next season thing, let me break your heart. Mbappe is 25 years old and is the oldest of the attackers. Vinicius is 23, Rodrigo is 22, Jude Bellingham is 20 years old, Camavinga is 21, Tchouaméni is 23. These boys are just starting. Mbappe is 24. This is going to be the team of your nightmares for the next 10 years. So if you need something to do for 10 years, like we said on the last episode, I hope I will not want to see 10 years. That was before I did even like this. So I don't know when next you are going to win this. La Liga, remove your mind. Remove your mind. Especially with Barcelona in penury, in poverty, unable to afford players to rival, and then you sack Xavi, the last manager to win them La Liga. It's going to be the next. You know how in the Bible there's 7 years of plenty, 7 years of famine. It's not that your own is not your own is not 7 years, but there's going to be lots of famine coming your way.
Tosin, a lot has been said. I'm sure you have, let's say your counter.
Yeah, Tunde is not old enough to remember some things. And I would say, first of all, say congratulations to Real Madrid, they won the Champions League. Barcelona, we've been saying congratulations a lot recently, so but I still have to say it anyway. But let's harken back, as a historian of the game, let's harken back to 2002. Because in Barcelona, in La Liga, when you talk about La Liga, you talk about two teams. Well, obviously, Valencia has won the league, Atletico Madrid has won, but you talk about two teams, two giants. You talk about Real Madrid and you talk about Barcelona. How did we get into this mess? I'm a Barcelona fan, everybody knows that. We need to go back to the root of this problem. From the year 2002 to the year 2014, how many years is that? That's 12 years. Real Madrid did not win the Champions League because a lot of people that watch football now, if you cut their hand, you see win there. We've been watching football for a very, very long time. You can't tell. There was a 12-year gap. Real Madrid did not win the Champions League. During that 12-year time, the new Barcelona generation that just came, they witnessed Barcelona win the Champions League in 2006, in 2009, and 2011. That's a three in the span of that 12 years. Let me tell you what happened to us. And that's how they tell you that sometimes in life, some people will come into your club and damage it. Three things happened to Barcelona. One is Chiqui Begueristan. Two is Andoni Zubizarreta. Three is Eric Abida. These three people ruined this club. Let me break it down for you. Let's start with Chiqui Begueristan. He's now chilling at Manchester City as their sporting director. But Thunder will him there. So, in 2003-2010, that obviously the first Bartomeu stint. That was what, we had a very good crop. We wanted to go for David Beckham. We brought in Ronaldinho, changed the face of the club. We won the Champions League. Everything was going fine. Lionel Messi. Then we brought in Andoni Zubizarreta, former goalkeeper. He wanted to one up. He said, you know what we'll do? We're going to bring in Neymar. Neymar, obviously, with the Brazilian connections, as you can see with Rodrigo, with Vinicius, with Robinho, those Brazilian connections, for the most part, they usually go to Real Madrid, those young Brazilian prospects. But for one reason, Zubizarreta decided that we needed to bring in Neymar. That beginning of Neymar was our downfall. Because when they brought in Neymar to the dressing room, they brought in him on expensive wages. Where people are like, in that dressing room, we had people like Iniesta in that dressing room. We have people like Xavi in that dressing room. We have people like Busquets in that dressing room that have won 3 Champions League, made a lot of history. You bring in Neymar into that dressing room, that's when the problem started. The salary started to go up. Then you bring in Luis Suarez. Luis Suarez, obviously, is like, who are the highest earners in this dressing room? And that's how the problem started. Then Eric Abida now came and made it worse. When Neymar decided that, you know what, I'm leaving, and Monaco gave Barcelona a proposition. How about you sign Kylian Mbappe as a replacement? Just before, do you know what Eric Abida insisted? He said we should sign Dembele. He said Dembele is better than Mbappe. I'm not going to talk about his cancer. I'm not going to talk about it. But everybody knows how I feel about it. And because of these sequences, Barcelona now fell into penury, bad decisions, and that is where we are. Now, congratulations to Real Madrid. Because you have a good team doesn't mean you win. Like I said, from that 2002 to 2014, before they won those Champions League, they brought in a lot of good players. They had a good crop of players. They brought in Ronaldo, obviously. They brought in David Beckham. They still had Roberto Carlos on that team. They still had Guti on that team. They had Raul on that team, and they didn't win. So because you bring in good players, doesn't mean you will succeed. But Barcelona, we only have ourselves to blame. Based on the sporting director, the vision of the project, the high increase of salaries, and everything is cyclical. If this is Real Madrid's time, Barcelona's time will come.
Well, that was quite a history lesson. But back to you today. Okay, so now that Mbappe has finally made the move, where do you think is going to fit? Like, everyone knows that Madrid is a team full of stars. Even without Mbappe, they're able to win the Champions League. So where do you think he's going to be able to fit into this team? Don't you think he's going to cause some sort of imbalance when he comes in to take his place?
I mean, it's structureless clubs and futureless, purposeless clubs, just arrangement of players, a potpourri of players that flop. When Barcelona brought in Antoine Griezmann, they did not know where to play him because Griezmann and Messi were playing in the same position. Griezmann ended up flop. When they brought in Coutinho, it is clubs that are just a family gathering, clubs that they are not properly run, clubs that is just a collection of different people that just come to collect money and go. That is where Mbappe can flop. That's where Mbappe will fail to fit in. But you see a club with a purpose, a club that has a long-standing tradition of world-class forwards. First of all, the first thing that makes me know that Mbappe is going to make it is that he came in, he did not come with his ego whatsoever. He came in and he said, number 9 is available, give me number 9. Number 9, everybody knows Mbappe likes wearing 7 or 10. Mbappe's numbers are 7 or 10. Vinicius, the current number 7. Now, before Mbappe, okay, he has been wearing 7 up and down, please. He did number 7 change. I'm sure he has number 7 on his pajamas now, please. Here's my number. Modric is wearing number 10. It would have been easy to, if it's Barcelona, they would have done it. It's not Barcelona. They would have even promised him that don't worry, when he's out, collect that number 10 from Modric. He's going anyway. It's easy to take it from Modric and give it to him. But they respected the hierarchy. And the player himself is very, very happy to wear 9, a number he has not won before. Which lets me know that he's willing to make this work. When you have a bunch of talented players, the only way it will not work is if the players themselves are putting their personal needs, their personal ambitions ahead of what is best for the team. And with that small, tiny decision, Mbappe has already started showing that is team first. That small decision that could have cost rank or first and say, Vinicius, better go back to your number 20, give me that 7. If he stipulated that in the contract, Real Madrid would have gone through with it because Real Madrid would not want to lose out on Mbappe for something as frivolous as numbers. If he said he wanted Modric number 10, they would have worked something out. But he took the 9 because he believes in the superiority of the team. And that happens when you sign for them. It's when you sign for teams like Barcelona, you can be making all these ridiculous demands because you know that they will owe you money. So you are trying to disrespect them before they disrespect you. All those ridiculous are the kind of things Barcelona players are thinking about. But you can hear from Tosin's long monologue. He sounds defeated. He is not as enthused. Let me quote straight. Tosin does not. You know the way Tosin used to talk. Like history of the game. You didn't do any of that one now. Because he knows in his heart of heart. How did he wear the statement? He said, Barcelona time will come. That's how they talk in house fellowship. That's not how to talk in Crossfire. That's house fellowship language. Now, what Tosin telling you now is that their faith is in the hand of God. He has looked around his useless club. He has looked around. He looked at Ferratore and said, Look at Lewandowski at the ripe age of 35. Lewandowski might not be able to start for shooting stars. The way he's playing at the moment. Lewandowski will score 15 goals this season. I've never seen somebody finish faster than Lewandowski in my life. They paid 60 million for this brother just 2 years ago. Look at Barcelona's hope of fighting against Real Madrid super team. This Real Madrid super team is a boy that is doing GC as we speak. What's that name? He's not even legally yet a worker. Like this strike did not concern him. You know how the strike, like Yamal cannot strike because it's not supposed to be working. So this is not a comparison. Tosin knows in his heart of heart. He has not said it because pride is not alive to say it. He knows in his heart of heart that Real Madrid's level is so much higher than Barcelona's level, right? It is not even a joke. Like they are so far ahead of Barcelona. Mbappe will slot in quite nicely because they have a manager that believes in positionless football. They have Vinicius and Rodrigo, 2 left wingers that are both doing coexisting fine. Bellingham is a central midfielder that's playing sometimes as a 10, sometimes as a centre forward. So it's a team that you just put everybody on the pitch and say, boys, play ball. And when they enter the field, if Mbappe, Vinicius, Rodrigo face a team on the counter attack, be hoping to God that they don't gel. I don't know how you stop that. People have to literally beg God that God help us stop these people. Because when Real Madrid had Bale, Benzema, Ronaldo, Barcelona were able to counter with their own. MSN. Who do they? I didn't even mention Rafinha. And these players are comedians. That's why I employ Oriol Romeo. What's that? Please, I think I've made my point.
So, Tosin, do you have anything that you just want to... I'm not going to ask you the question that I asked you because it's your sworn enemies team. So, let me just give you this chance now to whatever you want to say to your fans out there.
Let me start by saying that God will Xavi. Let me start by saying that obviously another person who has set this club back another 10 years. Obviously, we were in a rebuilding mode. We just won the Copa del Rey. We finished 4 points behind Real Madrid. We had a good young core of players. We had Gavi, who was at the time 17. We had Pedri, who was at the time 18. We had Alejandro Balde, who was at the time 19. Good crop of players. Arojo just came in. Mingueza obviously was. A good crop of players who just won the title. This guy starts blabbing in Qatar that he can do better. Came into the team, couldn't materialize and get the best out of the players. Demanded that we bring in a Lewandowski, who was towards the coffin stage of his career. Brought him in for 60 million. Where is Lewandowski today? We had to bring in 3 different levers. We unloaded 3 different levers to hijack Rafinha from Chelsea. Is Rafinha a player you actually go for? Not to talk of hijacking. How do you go and hijack a player that struggled with relegation? We went to Manchester City. We said we didn't want their number 1 striker. We don't want their number 2 striker. We don't want their number 3 striker. In fact, let's go to their number 6th forward in their rotation, in Ferran Torres. Brought him for 80 million. While the club was struggling, bought him for 80 million, put a Ballon d'Or clause in his contract. Does it look like anybody in Ferran Torres' generation, not him, in his generation, does it look like anybody in his generation is going to win a Ballon d'Or? Put that one there. Just making stupid decisions up and down. Look at Tunde. Kubasi that is 17 is better than him. Ruined the club, but it's fine. It's fine. Because now, under Hansi Flick, you understand, there's going to be a reset. There's going to be a reset. Obviously, Gavi, and a lot of people do not know the importance of Gavi. Thank God that now that he got injured, and you saw how, when Gavi got injured, how many points were we behind Real Madrid? 4 points. How many points did Real Madrid finish ahead of us? So, people see the importance of Gavi in that. When I tell you that Gavi this, you say, hey, what does Gavi do? How many goals does Gavi have? It's not about goals. Open your eyes. Don't use glasses. Open your eyes and watch the game. But at the end of the day, me, I'm not moved by names. In this Real Madrid that you are talking about, you are saying, in this Real Madrid you are talking about, we saw Real Madrid bring in a World Player of the Year in Kaká and flopped. We saw them bring in a World Player of the Year in Kaká, he flopped. We saw them bring in somebody that they were calling the best player in the Premier League in Eden Hazard, came to Real Madrid and flopped. We saw them splash 100 million on Tchouaméni, sat on the bench in the Champions League final for 90 minutes. So are they not shunting in between defensive midfield, central midfield, centre back and right back? So, yes. Just to make sure that they put him, okay, you have to still play a couple of games. So bringing in big name signings, bringing in players with huge reputation to Real Madrid, we've seen time and time again they flop. So I'm not saying Mbappe is going to flop. I'm just saying that like only Barcelona players flop. That's nonsense. I see Mbappe struggling in the dressing room. Not on the field, like in terms of he's a skilled footballer. I see him struggling in the dressing room because the dressing room will say, we already achieved a lot without you. Especially if, for some certain reason, Barcelona has a hot start before we meet in the Clasico. We always meet around week 15, week 16. Barcelona has like a 3-4 points lead. It's not really much. Going into the pressure is down on him. They already won the league without you. They already won the Champions League without you. Anything short of repeating these 2 titles, who is going to get the blame? It sure as hell is not going to be Bellingham. Bellingham already proved his worth. Bellingham will say, okay, you are shifting me back from an advanced position to a more central position to accommodate Mbappe. If it doesn't work out, who is going to get the blame? It's not going to be Bellingham. Bellingham said, I was doing fine where I was before. If Vinicius Junior his spaces, those spaces that Mbappe likes to operate on the left, if his spaces are encroached and the attack is not being fluid, who are they going to blame? It's Mbappe. So I'm pretty sure that Mbappe will be the scapegoat for next season. I don't see us really doing much in the Champions League, but for me, getting back to being champions of Spain is the most important thing, and I think with a couple of additions, we can obviously make it happen.
Well, whether or not Mbappe's arrival is going to cause any upsets in both the Madrid dressing room or on the pitch next season, we're going to know about that. I am Jimmy Anishilowo. This is Crossfire.